All right, welcome back. I think we're good to go, Jack. So I think the first thing to talk about, I'm a fan of this. We've talked about this a lot in this meetup, the BIP 177 B symbol. I'm already seeing your face. I've seen a reaction on your face. But this is now final across block products. So
What was it not?
huh?
Was it not final?
No, they were rolling it out. Like if you went in Cash App, it would still be SaaS
So
or
it was like rolled out in Square, which is where everyone initially
whatever.
reacted because it was like the default in Square.
Yeah, but like in Cash App, it was still either 0.000 whatever or like the word SATS. But now everywhere, like in Cash App, Square, um, and BitKey, it's all the B symbol. And audience members, that's why. Yeah, this is the end of January. This is this is it's a repricing. Yeah, but I'm excited
But
about it.
yeah, I mean, what more is there to say about
There's nothing more to
this?
say.
Like,
There's nothing more to say
I've
about this.
my side is already lost. Like, I don't even, I wasn't even that strong about it. But sure.
Yeah, I think there's only so much you can fight. Behemoth like power of an intransigent minority. That's true. Very loud vocal minority, I guess. Um, okay, maybe a little meatier. Fold. If anyone uses Fold here, they came out with a redesign. Um, Josh is a friend. He's the head of design there. Really, really talented guy. He actually used to be at Strike, and he led the Strike's rebrand redesign, and now he's at Fold doing something similar. So this is Matt. Matt's the COO.
Yeah.
Yeah, CEO at Unchained. I actually worked with him. He was my PM for a while, and then he was my manager, and now he's at Fold.
Small
Uh,
world.
Small dude. It's yeah. Everyone just kind of works with each other at at a certain point. But yeah, it's a really talented team, especially like a lot of the newer team is just really really strong, and so I'm super optimistic about where they're going. Um, but if I jump in here, you can kind of see. I don't know if anyone's used Fold in the past. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, with the update, I guess if I cover what like that yellow line means, whether it's for your rewards or I guess it's like the percentage that you can send available with the rewards thing is a little bit.
So you basically the confusion is like, well, what does that yellow even mean? The yellow bar?
Yeah,
Is it like how much I can send? Is it what's available? I guess.
yeah. I think on that line, it's what percentage. I think it's what percentage is available to send from your normal balance,
Yeah.
but then from your rewards, you have to have minimum. I think 30,000 sats to send. And if it's not full, I think you don't have anything. But I was unsure until I was playing around with it.
Okay. So it was a little, yeah. The progress maybe is not as super clear. It's probably more clear on the credit side, maybe because I think people are familiar with that. But that's a good point. Like, um,
Yeah, I mean, this is a big limitation of just on-chain Bitcoin as well, because they don't have Lightning withdrawals yet. Like, people think of Fold as a Lightning integrated app,
right, right,
but
right.
all you can really do is buy gift cards with Lightning. But if at the very least, if they had Lightning, they could just show you, hey, you can withdraw your balance right now. And then maybe it's like for the Lightning option, withdraw any amount. For the on-chain option, oh, you need at least 30K,
Yeah,
right? Which stinks, but that's a way better user experience, right? So much better. It's so worth it in my eyes.
that's true. And I'm guessing they'll probably get there soon. Like once they have, because I believe they use BitGo, and BitGo has Lightning as a
I
like a
heard
switch.
BitGo partnered with Voltage, so
Oh,
hopefully,
okay. Well,
yeah,
if you
hopefully
don't
they
know,
got
Austin
there.
works at Voltage, so
Yeah, didn't they just do like a $1 million Lightning transaction?
oh,
Yes.
okay, sweet.
Yeah, so a great irony is that when I was at Fold a few years back as a front end engineer, one of my big side quests at Fold was to try and get Lightning like fully into Fold, and I never achieved that. But now working in Voltage, I might get to come around from the other side and make it happen. But the only reason it hasn't is because of regulations. They need to leverage BitGo. There's a lot of other big institutions that need someone like a Bitcoin bank in order to do Lightning, for better or worse. But
Yeah. Um, I think there's even more to say here. Like, actually, one bit of feedback I got, I'm forgetting from who it was. I won't dox them, but their feedback, and if the full team is listening or watching, they were saying their feedback was basically when I squint on the screen, I kind of wish my total balance was more obvious because right now it's if I squint, I don't really know nothing's super obvious to me. That was the feedback. That's a fair question. I think what they meant was my total money. So my guess is what they meant was this. And so having that be more prominent is like, oh, this is how much money I have. Right now, that seems like maybe there could be better hierarchy. Um, but Josh is a legend. I'm sure he has some logic here. And I think the other feedback was I don't know how to make sense of this feedback necessarily, but it was like this bar of buttons. The feedback that this person said was like, I kind of wish it was down or like it kind of felt like it was maybe breaking up in the screen in a weird way. Um, any feedback from people in the audience who've like tried this? Or, I haven't played around with it too much.
Features.
The credit feature, I thought they hadn't rolled out their product yet, so I didn't.
Yeah, I think it's probably not rolled out yet, and this is like a prototype probably that Josh is cooked up on my guess, or maybe like a testing app or whatever. But I think I really like how they cleaned up the navigation. It's way more simple, and I think they describe it here. There's home, there's oh yeah, so look at how they framed it. The new experience is designed so the first thing you see answers 3 questions. How much money do you have? How are your stats growing? And what other ways can I earn? So instead of yeah, because I remember the old Fold app was just like the the navigation, the information architecture was like honestly kind of a mess. It was just everything was all over the place. And I kind of like how it's um like cash related stuff is all in cash. Um
Something sorry to go back, but, like, on the
yeah,
home
yeah.
screens, like, why doesn't cash have a yellow bar? Like, I don't
Uh-huh.
understand this. So, okay, credit, I've used up, whatever, 18% of my credit. Bitcoin, I don't know, we're full Bitcoin, I guess, like, I don't know what those lines are trying to communicate to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I would think even cash probably has like pending and stuff. So maybe they could have done that.
But I do like the idea of, like, here's your portfolio, but
Yeah.
there's, like, a lack of depth to it or something that's I don't know,
It might be the hierarchy that you're trying to like
maybe.
articulate. I love the application of these cards. The kind of like the 3D
Oh, that's cool.
stuff like that. It's yeah, look at that. I mean, that's beautiful. And you can search. You can search cards. Woo! I think people have been asking for that for a long time. You probably know that. Um, what else? There was one more thing I really liked, and maybe it's controversial, but I like uh the framing of it. So people loved Fold for like the spin wheel. You could like kind of a little reward prize, and now that's basically hidden a little bit. Yeah, in the notifications. And I think the logic. I don't know if they say this explicitly, but I think the logic is, hey, they're trying to move away from this kind of like gambling like vibe and more towards professional financial services, which e everyone inevitably ends up like going towards. But they didn't wanna probably, uh, make their spin customers super angry, right? So they probably had to find some middle ground there. I thought that's pretty clever to like, yeah, move it all just in there, you know? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a full life cycle from roulette wheel to, full neobank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
mean,
Bitcoin dream.
Yeah.
the I don't know. I like the wheel. Like do you guys remember like the app Lolly before they turned
Yeah,
into a
Lolly.
full shitcoiner?
Yeah,
Like at Lolly and the daily reward that they gave, especially back in like 2022, that was a really good way for me to get friends to understand DCAing. So I think part of the reason why they have to do the wheel is because you can't just like give money. It needs to be like some sort of reward.
yeah.
I remember uh, s- I'm not going to dox him, but I remember a friend who was building an app and he had to do the wheel when he wanted to give rewards. But yeah, so I don't know. I see what you're saying from wanting to transition to the financial services, but at the same time, if there's still such a gap in terms of onboarding, like I feel like there's an opportunity to have some sort of fountain that gets people to understand the importance of DCAing and getting Bitcoin that way.
Yeah, yeah. I think more entry points is good. If I were just to purely guess, I don't know this for a fact. My guess is the audience of Fold used to be like coupon clippers, basically, right? Like percentage, I want this 2% back, 1% back. And maybe they're trying to move away from that. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess if I were to guess why they are making this move. Also, just the vibe looks a lot more like buttoned up than
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, people very much played it like people gather around a I don't know, I guess certain gaming companies, you might say, like, people had spreadsheets of, like, how to
yeah,
use Fold
yeah.
optimally and, like, get all of the bonuses and rewards, so
And that's like not a great customer to
But
have, I think.
I mean, that's just the credit card system. That's the financial
Yeah,
system at play. Like,
yeah.
like people do the same thing with airline points and hotel
true.
points.
That's true, actually.
Like that's always going to happen. People are going to try to game the system.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I feel like the homepage is kind of just it's like the homepage. I mean that's pretty, but the go back the one with the balances and stuff on it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go back in one sec. Yeah,
There we go. It's like it's like it's missing. It's like weirdly, I guess, kind of generic. But it's like it doesn't have a thing. Does that make
like an
sense?
anchor, some sort of
Yeah, there's no like
visual anchor.
graphic or visual flair or thing that gives you a sense of place. It kind of just looks like I'm looking at a list of numbers and like three unstyled buttons. Like, I understand it's probably hard when you have all these multiple balances, but like, nothing makes the total stand out. I guess the common thing with Bitcoin wallets is you make like one big number, centered number with a bigger font or something. There's no like center of gravity kind of. It's just kind of this flat list of things. It looks very practical, but I don't know. I don't feel like a sense of belonging
Do you almost feel
to
like
the
if
thing.
there was the fold you're making me realize, like, there's no fold icon. Like, where that hamburger menu, if there was a fold icon there, that would be, like, a little bit of
That would help a
identity to
little
where I'm
bit,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
okay, I know where I'm at."
Yeah, or
Branding.
a tasteful gradient or a mascot but yeah, just some like where are you actually supposed to look?
Mm.
Like like what's the hierarchy of the thing that you're supposed to look at first? There's nothing that makes total really look like. Is that what you're supposed to look at first because it's at the top?
I would guess. I would guess so. I think that would. I would guess that the top stuff is probably what they want you to look at. But I think that is exactly echoing that other person that gave me this feedback was like, I don't know where to look. Everything looks the same. Um. So yeah, I think that's really good feedback, and I think that's something they can easily iterate on. Honestly, like, I think the structure here is so good, because to me, like the hardest part is the navigation and the information architecture of like
Mhm.
the entire app, and I feel like they did a really good job at condensing that down into what really matters. And now it's just yeah, if Josh agrees this is good feedback, then like maybe that's the place to iterate next,
Mm.
which I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like, everything's put in its proper bucket,
Yeah,
its proper
and now you
basket,
just
which is
kind of
hard.
you know,
It almost reminds me of Strike when they did their big
yep,
redesign. It was very similar. Like, it came out, like, a little bit generic, and there's very generic, and there's a few choices that were just like,
yeah,
that's kinda odd."
I definitely prefer having both balances on the home page rather than having to switch back and forth
yeah.
like you do in Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Strike, and I think mentioned at the top, but it's the same. It's Josh. He did Strike, and now he's been doing Fold, and
Oh, okay.
so you could probably see his fingerprints over this, and I think in a lot of good ways, especially like I said, the architecture and like the polish maybe is a better way of putting it.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah,
I'll say I'd rather start with this
100%,
1,000 times more
100%.
than what they had before.
Exactly, exactly. So I think yeah. Um, Sweet. Any other thoughts on Fold? I'm surprised. Yeah, we had a lot to say on Fold. That's great. All right, moving on. This one's cool too. I only saw this on LinkedIn. I didn't see this on Twitter. But Joe, I overlapped him a little bit at Unchained, but they finally have like mobile spending now, which is awesome. other multi-sig wallets can do this, like Nunchuck, or I think even Casa does this, but it's just harder with multi-sig. You know, being able to you have to like sign with these different devices and all this stuff. So I just thought this was a really cool flow that they showed. Um, so yeah, so they call it withdraw, but it's the same thing as spend. And yeah, it's big warnings and stuff. But you're choosing like a contact or where to send. I love the Unchained branding, by the way. Like the background there is just super nice. Um, yeah, so you're sending. Yeah, so here's kind of like I think where it gets complex, right? It's more complex than just a regular Bitcoin send. So you're saying how much you're creating the transaction, and now you have to like where are you getting approvals from? Um, yeah, sign with two keys below. So I think in this case, these two are not your keys. Like you're one key out of three. So how do you handle that? And so you can review the transaction, I guess is what Joe is doing here. So you hit request. It sends a request to the other key. And Unchained's coordinator handles that. You could ask Unchained to sign. That's cool. Video verify. So that's a good question. So I think that, or probably an email too. So like if someone else is in your Unchained vault,
What are we doing here?
video verification, because you need a request Unchained to sign, and so they have like a process for that. Um,
Is there an open claw skill for that?
I was gonna say like I don't know if I'd want to use video verification these days, but I'm sure there's multiple layers of security. I'm sure like a human. I don't know for sure actually. Yeah, it looks like a team will review. Blah blah blah.
Hmm.
So
So that's like their coordinator seemingly is ready to sign. Like this is just a lot of like assurances in the middle.
oh, like for the Unchained signing or
Uh-huh.
yeah. I think like it's always. I actually don't know technically how what it's doing. If is it just like a blind? I don't think it's a blind signer. I'm sure there's like someone has to hit approve.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do verification and stuff.
And is that
Um,
key is the key that you're signing with, that's on your phone? That's like
that
your
actually that's a great. Oh, okay. So he's not showing you in the video here.
uh-huh.
As far as I know, Unchained does not support mobile keys. They only support like external hardware devices.
Yeah.
Um, that's probably why he just skipped over the personal key for the demo purposes. Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
because
my,
he's
my guess
requesting
is
from the two remote keys.
yeah. If I were to guess, they didn't talk about it, but my guess is like you would scan a QR with your passport or cold card or something like that.
Yeah.
Execute and broadcast. Some of the wording I think it's a little
button for like I've done everything I can do right now.
like a wait like a yeah.
Like I it's not even a draft, right? It's like I've like it's in a proposed state and needs to like stay at the top of my transaction list or something. Maybe it does. I don't know, but I don't know how to like, hey, I requested the signature. Also, I'm like, digging the hole in my backyard to get my cold card and like I need this to just like how do I pause this process?
Yeah, I wonder if they
How do I
showed it
park this
here.
process?
Because yeah, in your thing, Paul, like here, both the keys are pending. So I kind of wish Joe scrolled down so we could see what is the action. Is it just like
Do you
wait?
hit X? Because that looks like you would like cancel out.
Yeah, that's a good question. I unfortunately do not have a vault to test with. Oh no.
Yeah, there's cancel at
Oh
the
yeah, so
bottom.
there really is nothing. It's just kind of you X out, I guess.
Mm.
So there's no sounds good. I'm just gonna wait button.
Yeah, I don't know what they call that, but
I don't know what to call that, but yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
idea.
at least for me, it seems like that's a scary situation for users. Like we've all been on like really crappy government websites where you fill out most of the form and then like your browser refreshes and you lose it all. And even if you think about what I don't know, the best like I think about ChatGPT when I like ask it a question in thinking mode on my phone, if I background it, they've done a lot to like they do the Apple indicator at the top that we're still running in the background and there's like a loading bar. At least there's some kind of indicator that like, okay, you haven't totally lost this.
Pending state.
Yes, like you're safe to, put your phone down or background it or close the app.
Yeah, because I would have that anxiety for sure. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah, because you're just keeping your phone on the desk with like the screen on and you're like, it's like hot potato.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it would've been nice somewhere up here. And maybe it is, maybe we just can't see it in this view, but, like, yeah. Let me see if there's anything in the oh, sit on your couch and get your notification that it's signed and ready to go, and then press send without
Oh,
ever getting up.
okay. Okay.
So maybe they have thought about this, and it's just kind of hard for us to see. I know there's a blog post here too, but I don't think there's any images here. Okay, draft anytime. Start a draft, confirm details, come back to it when ready. Request additional confidence. Uh, enhance verification tool. Yeah, additional passkey. Integrated business approvals. Yeah, this is an important one. Like, you need for some business flows, you need approvals before even signing. That's kind of cool. But yeah, sweet. Shout out to Unchained. Any other thoughts? Nope.
Push
Oh,
notifications are
Sam.
nice for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys. The text earlier on those cards, while right now they have a chip behind them, earlier they show white text on gray and blue. It just makes me wonder about like accessibility contrast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
But I think even earlier there's no chip behind it. It's not. It might not be the point of this share, but
Okay, fair
Like-
enough. Accessibility, contrast. Get your Claude to do an accessibility skill pass or something. I don't know. Sweet. All right. Not a ton to say here, but it looks like on ramp. Tango Minute on ramp. It's basically like another multi-sig kind of thing, but I think you don't have I believe you don't have any of your own keys. It's only
Yeah, it's
institution.
most multi-institutional custody.
Yeah, so they redesigned their dashboard here, and I think the best way to see that is in Tango's video here. Yeah, I haven't seen the dashboard in a while, but I believe the point of this video is like it previously took a while to onboard. Like I think it took like multiple days to get everything set up, and now it's just like a few minutes to set it up. So I don't know technically what was going on or like what changed, but at least from a visual design point of view, um, I think this is a lot better than what it used to be. I remember their old dashboard, and this is uh, a lot nicer. Yeah. Yeah, I think probably the target audience of OnRamp is different than us, but I'm guessing no one here is probably probably is OnRamp. But any thoughts?
why did he show inverted hockey stick chart?
Of the of the price probably.
It looked like a withdrawal.
Was it a withdrawal?
I would maybe it's in the audio. Maybe
Oh,
it's for a loan.
it's because he was on a zero balance. Like when he onboarded,
Oh,
it's like, yeah, I don't know.
oh yeah. So it started with some balance, and then we withdrew probably. So
Mm.
whatever, something.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is that on-ramp is kind of the platform that treasury companies, not treasury, like a company who's looking to build a Bitcoin treasury will be using, not necessarily take out debt and buy Bitcoin, but like, cash flow positive and put reserves. So thinking of it from that perspective, like I would want the onboarding to be as easy as possible. If I'm, running a multi-million-dollar a year in revenue business with X% profit, like, and I'm the sole owner, I need to be able to just sign up and do it. But at the same time, they're going after probably like the in-betweener where they know like they're probably personally Bitcoiners, but they can't be full stop Bitcoiners in their business life because they have, investors or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I forget if well, I guess this is the video, but when you scroll down, it shows who their key signers are. So one of them's on-ramp. I know a second one's BitGo. So they're getting
Yeah,
BitGo's getting a lot of
Coin
free
Cover.
press in this meetup, and then I forget who the third one is.
Oh yeah, Coin Cover. Yeah,
Coin
They just
Cover.
went
They're in the
public
UK.
too.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Killing it.
Lop is a happy man.
yeah. So like, I think I mean, custody is a spectrum, right? Like, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and a lot of trade-offs between each one. I think this one does fall in like that Goldilocks zone, where there are a lot worse ways to hold keys. There are probably a few better, but yeah, if they can make it as easy as possible, then
Yep.
it's a plus.
Sweet. All right. Moving on from there, I think I did want to touch on. We have like 15-ish minutes. I wanted to touch on some like non-Bitcoiny things. Maybe more on like if you're a designer or PM or engineer side of things. I feel like we talk about this all the time, but I think things are changing so much that it's still worth kind of bringing things up, even if it's repetitive. So this resonates a lot. I cannot believe that just 1 year ago, we used to spend hours, weeks, and months making prototypes in Figma that were only meant to help you imagine what the product would be like, and then spend 3 to 12 months making it real, and everyone bought into it. We were there. I mean, we were there like a year ago. What's up?
Things looked better.
Things look
better than
fair enough. Yeah, I'm sure
you can tell.
You can tell. Fair. Yeah, it's a lot of slop. But so kind of related. How do I get that out of the way? Yeah, related. This guy talks about how they killed Figma again and why code won't kill your creativity, and just like this kind of separating the tool from what you're actually doing. I think is his point. So another day, another feature launch that makes people go crazy, declaring the death of Figma. And it's an editor for your code base. I think that might have been what it was referring to, was pencil. There's a lot of these things that like let you kind of have a canvas for Claude Code outputs or like cursor outputs or that kind of thing. My guess is his point is just, it seems like he's just saying he's separating like the act of design from like the tool, and the point is about exploration. And whatever helps you do that more, I think, is his point. Is like, and this was a debate last month too, when like Carrie from Linear and what's his name, Rye, something like that. He's a designer at Cursor. They were debating like, oh, design in code versus design in whatever. And so, yeah, I think it's like code can be a sort of, vectors are code. Like everything is code. And code is becoming so cheap that you can potentially use it for exploration and the same purposes as something like a Figma. Where maybe I'm not really following is like at the end here he says Figma's happily alive, and that I'm not totally following then the point of this. I don't know if you guys do, but my take is he's just like taking a step back and talking more about the process rather than specific tools.
Yeah, I mean, what I take from it is like which that crazy acronyms. What you see is what you get. Editor, which is like the popular, I don't know, whatever editors
Yeah.
Markdown. I think he's trying to say that like that's not the final ideal place that we design it. It's powerful because it lets us experiment and define these things as code, but actually a creative tool is what allows you to be creative, and that's fundamentally what Figma is and what Cursor kind of isn't.
Never really was. Figma didn't really have a lot in it that was beyond code. Like if the thing he looks like got him into this, he's talking about these Unicorn Studio, where you're defining like shaders. Like if you go to unicorn.studio, there's some good visuals. And so he's like saying like the design should be at the edge of like what is possible to like imagine, and not limited by code. And so like Figma, the WYSIWYG things are like kind of limited at what is easy to define in code. And that might not be that creative. Where this is like the wild cutting edge. So even if the wild cutting edge happens to be code or not, he wants to be at the wild cutting edge of design.
I hear that, but I just feel like this is 0.1% of what anyone actually does. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like everything we see here is such a small percent of what a designer does.
This is the sizzle reel, you know.
Yeah, I just don't like. Maybe I'm
Well,
on a different planet. Or
Yeah, but like once if everything that Figma does becomes so commoditized and easy to vibe code or WYSIWYG or whatever, then
yeah,
then there's no point to that at least.
and even that, like I've seen a lot of people like doing this kind of creative exploratory work in code in different ways. Like, and actually we'll talk about that if we have time. But different ways of doing the exploration in cursor or cloud code, like directly in code. I think I think we should talk about this because it's so cool. And since we're bringing it up right now, let me try to find it. Oh yeah, this is what I think Sam was talking about, and I think kind of related. So, Pencil, an infinite canvas for Cloud Code. So it's a WebGL canvas. Uh, runs with Cloud Code, turns design into code. Let me open it up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I haven't actually tried this myself. Maybe I should.
The training data it has, like I wonder where that comes from because a lot of stuff is hyper stylized, whereas any of the training data Big Mac.
But isn't the point less about like the model they're using and more about the canvas? Like here, like this to me is cool if I can talk to my tool rather than having to push pixels. But what I like about Figma is the canvas. You know, that's so if that's what I can get with this, and that's I feel like that's the best of both worlds. Pencil, yeah.
I think Pencil's good for doing like a first pass and it gets the information architecture pretty good. It's pretty awesome because it's componentized. But Figma Make versus Pencil, I think Figma Make looks more professional because it's training data. They've had access to a lot of customer data. They probably messed with the thresholds to get professionalism. Whereas Pencil, a lot of stuff it punches out is like all caps and not hyper usable. But that might be towards their target market. It looks pretty technical. It's cool. It's useful. Requires a Anthropic subscription.
Yeah, because that's more of a function of the Claude models that you're using or the cursor models you're using, like the whatever. Because I believe this works for cursor as well. So that's not really a pencil thing. That's more of like the underlying model. Yeah, this is just a canvas basically. But
I mean, I think for me, this is like mind blowing and amazing, which is kind of funny because it's kind of not, but it's like this could be. It's like give me the infinite canvas, give me the ability to iterate on multiple ideas that might be across different branches, and then give me the ability to reach that place of having like the full Figma with like all your different sizes and all your different screens. Cause that world is gone from me. And this is a way of like, oh, maybe I can vibe code the design, right? And it's stored in this, dot pin format, which is JSON. And then I can migrate that as code,
and the
build
components are
on it as code. And then also it's at the same time the reference. So I don't know. For me, this is like the design prototype as code where you have two different views. One of them is this infinite canvas where it's laid out like Figma, and the other is just like it's JSON. I can just move it and give it to any coding agent. That's a cool idea.
.pen file being the source of truth.
Oh, yeah.
Like why if I change the font of that signature selections thing and then like clicked commit, I want the font to change on the website. Like I feel like these designers keep on the reason like we're mourning the death of Figma or not, but it feels like the death of Figma is because it has no relevance to the actual output because like it's so much rigmarole to like Figma is just now a prompt. It's not a source of truth in like, can you turn this into a source of truth? I mean, like that those
Okay.
those tokens right there.
I think that's probably what it's doing, right? Because
Yeah, like at least can you commit this file into your repo of these tokens, and this is your tailwind.css tokens. So at least if you change the color and hit commit, it would just be live on the website.
I'm guessing that's what it does.
It depends on how the JSON. Yeah, but I mean, it's right there. It's like you have it in a JSON file. You just need to like pipe it in as your Tailwind config.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. I need to try this out. What am I doing?
I'm gonna build my own.
Like I feel like we're lacking design right now. And I want designers to be a part of this, but I feel like it's hard for them to be a part of it if all we can do is take their designs and feed them as prompts.
It's like the translation is what's
Yeah. Something.
yeah. Um, another like quick like tactical thing that I thought was cool, and this is what I do as well, is like temporary files to simulate before and after. I do this for everything. I like even if I'm just I think today I started a new job and I was just like processing a bunch of inputs. I'm like, oh, learn all this new stuff about this company. And so I just told Claude to like make a quick one pager app so that I can like learn back and forth and stuff like that. So all these temporary things I think are really useful because code is so cheap, right? You can just do anything. So change the design, create a demo page that shows the before and after so I can see and provide feedback before you actually implement it. Change the system prompt of an AI API call. Show me the before and after simulating 10 user inputs and the AI output so I can see the change in output quality before committing. I just think that's cool. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I do that all the time. Or another example is like this one's maybe more cliche, but if you want to try a bunch of different variants, tell it to make a variant switcher somewhere. Like temporarily just make a variant switcher, like a drop down, be like, so I can swap between them and compare. I do that all the time. Also related to variant switchers. So the Benji, incredible designer. If anyone remembers, you'd probably remember this, but or actually, you guys probably all remember this. But I used to shill the family wallet a lot. This Ethereum wallet, incredible wallet. That was acquired by Aave, and then Benji joined Coinbase to work on. He's the head of design at Base. So shitcoins aside, really, really talented, and you have to like acknowledge that, even putting shitcoins aside. But he if you know anything about family, it's like the motion is a big part of why it felt so good. And so he made this in Claude Code and talked about how he made this. And you'd probably think, oh yeah, just prompt Claude and make the animations look nice. And it's actually a little more interesting and complex. But he did it in a day. And so how did he do that? I wanted to see if Claude could help me build something like this with a twist. Every icon should be able to become any other icon, not through crossfades, no opacity, but through actual transformation of the underlying shapes, right? And so 21 of these icons can morph into any other. He did it in a single session in Claude Code. So at first it kind of failed. It was just like this, whatever. It wasn't right. But he told it I wanted to use exactly 3 SVG lines. That was his insight that he found out. Icons that are fewer collapse extras into invisible points. So he told all of this into Claude. He told Claude this. That means any icon can morph into any other. And he gave Claude the constraint. Blah blah blah. Everything is 3 lines if you look at it. And then like rotation, specifying rotation rather than like weird opacity stuff and transformations and stuff like that. Oh, this was the really cool one. So cross group morphs. So like these ones. The lines interpolate through coordinate space, and motion handles like the in between transitions. And these are the ones that feel the most magical. So yeah, plus to check. Oh, or like arrow to check. Amazing. And okay, so we were talking about the custom tooling, like the custom, like, hey, temporarily make me a switcher or whatever. He did the same thing to like, so you can select here how many in the sequence to include. So let's say we want only to cycle between these 3. It'll just cycle between these 3. But if you wanted to test more, he would just select more. And now he's just like testing the Like, how does it feel? Does it look good? And like, what felt off? And that's it. I mean, he just worked with Claude to do it. I just thought it was amazing. Yeah,
That's really cool. I mean, for me, that's inspiring. Like, I mean, outside of from the design standpoint, it's the human ingenuity. This is what humans have left. The insight to be like, Claude did all of the hard work,
yeah,
right? But there is this genius idea, constrain it to 3 lines. Uh, because an AI would never do that.
no, not yet. Yeah,
Creating variants for you, because like I do this a lot with designing the architecture. I'm like, here's what I want. Show me 3 proposals for how you would build it, and I'll choose among those.
Yeah.
But I could just do this for UI, just like,
dude.
give me 7 versions of this UI and just put them all on the same page.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you which one I like.
And actually, what I'll often do is like, I'll say, make me 10 variations. I want 5 of them to be pretty conservative and standard, and then 5 of them just be totally weird and nuts, and then make a variant switcher, and I'll swap between them. And then, by the way, once you pick like the 1 or 2 that you like, you can feed those back in and say, hey, make 10 more like this. And so that's how you get the same like canvas of creativity kind of vibes.
That was kind of the dream with that. What was it? That magic something?
Magic Path or Magic Path? Yeah, Magic Path actually just came out with a cool.
The idea of like breeding designs.
Oh, okay. There's another one like that. Flora Fauna. I think it's Flora Fauna.ai. It's not the same thing. It's for a different use case. But you can like merge text, video, image, and then like you have these nodes that kind of blend into one single output based on multiple inputs. So you can have like multiple inputs, like multimodal input and multimodal output. It's just cool. What's up, Sam?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That node-based workflow would be really powerful if you combine it with something like Pencil, because the value here is you can say, I want this person wearing a shoe, but you can describe the input of what that person is. So you can keep that initial prompt inherently there. So you can make a whole movie and then you can edit your prompts and update the scenes. Similarly, it'd be nice to get Pencil. What are all the different pages, but have the original story of what each page does. So that way you can change the feature and you can maintain that functional requirement and iterate on both the function of the user story as well as the interface and not lose your initial intent, but allow it to evolve.
It's like context management kind of. Yeah. That's
Like a
point.
tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, I think the last thing to mention on this one, like Benji. So we were just talking about this, right? Benji made this whole thing. Another thing I just think is so cool because again, if you're in these tools all day long, like a lot of these things start to resonate because you're like, fuck, I was in that place. I had that exactly the exact same problem. And so Benji made a tool here, which I'll talk about, but if you've worked with like designing in Claude, a lot of times they'll say like, the button hover feels off. And it's like, you without the context, it just takes so much longer. It'll have to figure out what you're talking about and then blah, blah, blah. It's just, what are you talking about? You're talking about the duration, the easing, like the sidebar looks off. Oh, what is it? Which element? And I have a really bad habit of just out of principle, like not telling Claude anything. And I wanted to just figure it out, but it doesn't help. It makes it much harder. Yeah. The agent has to guess what you mean. Yeah. Make the button slower versus being more specific, and screenshots are only a little bit better because you still have to infer what you're talking to. So the harder something to describe, the more helpful it is just to point at. And so his approach, he made like an overlay. Yeah, he worked on a tool an overlay directly on localhost that lets you click on any element or pause the animation to catch a transition mid. Let me try to reset this. To catch a transition mid. Yeah. See, I paused it. To catch an animation mid thing, and then you can just annotate it, and it actually gets the actual element there. Yeah, so it captures class names, selectors, positions, element context, and then it generates agent agnostic markdown that you can paste into anything. Um, so for example, if I paused it here, I could do that and say bad or something. I wouldn't do that. But now, see, this is the prompt example that comes out. It gives you all this. Please address this feedback while maintaining the existing interaction pattern. Wow. Feedback, bad. It shows you the file, the position, the timing, everything about that. So especially for animations, which, again, like this complex animation, I can pause it here, specifically here, and say like, at this point, this heart was like in the wrong position. I mean, how cool is that? And so, yeah, with this approach, you can give feedback the way you naturally think, visually and in real time. The demos are short. Slow this down, make it more rounded. Blah blah blah. And so, all that being said, he made this article to describe that tool, and then he actually released a tool called Agentation. So I haven't tried it yet. I really want to try it. I don't know. I just thought that was really exciting and cool.
I think he already built it first.
What do you mean?
He built it first before he made the blog post.
Probably just to
No,
build
I'm just
hype. And
kidding. Yeah. No, that's really cool. That's like there was a lot of there used to be a lot of dev tools and design tools that would like I don't know, I guess let you do this manually, but it's like you're doing that manually and then you're just capturing the output and the insight from it into
dude,
a template.
to build on what you're saying, and I don't know if you agree with this.
Mhm.
It's not really manually. It feels like you're still like talking to the model, but it's like with precision. I feel
Yeah.
like, right? Because I don't want to go into Figma or like any other tool to do this. I still want to prompt it, but I want to do it with precision
Well,
versus just like, oh, make it better.
yeah, and I mean, I think like there are times where I'll give a prompt to Claude or whatever, and I'm like, I nailed that description, and it spits out exactly what I wanted. And I'm like, I wish I could use this like these terms like as specific. Whereas I had an issue yesterday where I was trying to fix like the navigation bar because it was getting weird if it wasn't full desktop size, and I just couldn't explain it. I was like, you're clearly missing
Yeah.
missing this. Like,
Yeah.
I want the button to not overlap into the main like landing page, and it just didn't make sense. So like a tool like this would have been really really helpful to have,
Yeah.
or if there's even like a video version, because if you're sending like a feedback where you have the pen and you can like annotate like that, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, the video one's cool. Actually, you can send videos to Claude Code because it just uses like FFmpeg or something, and it'll break it down into frames. But then your point is maybe correct that you can't. I didn't even know that. He just figured
That's
it out.
crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it can analyze videos and stuff too. But
So-
your point is maybe like, yeah, you still need the annotation on the video. So maybe this can help with that. I don't know.
Mm.
Sweet.
Cool. So and I have very low battery. So yeah, we'll make this quick and maybe it'll be a fun discussion. A lot of so this is a project that me and a partner built for the HRF hackathon recently, and we're getting close to the point of deploying it for a real organization.
We're
One of the
seeing.
big challenges is like how to build something for these activists that aren't, they're not used to running lots of software, running servers, how to build something for them that you can hand off and they can maintain. Um, so that's one insight is like how to have something be configurable and maintainable by the average person. And then also how can we leverage AI to do that? So I kind of thinking of it as UI and AI to try and take what are otherwise very low level ways that you might run a server and surface it for average users and allow them to do it. So Sanctum for context is a app that allows any organization to take their knowledge and boil it into a specialized AI chat and then onboard users into that chat. That's all it is, but it does it very securely and it does it in a configurable way. So you imagine you might be an organization that helps activists with, well, in our particular instance, it's an organization that helps activists that have had family members that have been imprisoned or were imprisoned, and they have lots of specific resources. So they want to get their resources to their users in a secure way and kind of boil it across time and then also be able to collect information about those users so they can continue to reach out to them. So we, did a lot to bring this together. But first of all, on the security point, to have security, you need to have cryptography, and cryptography has to start with some kind of key. So we thought that just the easiest generic point for having an admin onboard into a key and use it in the web, they're non-technical, is Noster, because there's a full ecosystem of tools you can use. So this onboarding is explaining to me in my fresh instance, I can begin to set this up. And the very first action I'll do is sign in with Noster. And so I'll do that right here. And it says welcome admin. And then I'm brought into an admin configuration panel here. And so all along the ways, we're trying to explain what you can do. We have instance configuration for how things look, how the branding is, user configuration for how you're going to onboard your users, the information you're going to collect from them, the AI configuration for what knowledge you're baking into the AI, what models you're going to use, and then the actual server itself. So all of those things that we would deal with as a developer, I am trying to surface through the UI and then hopefully make it easy. So, on the configuration side, this is obvious: choosing name, icons, logo URLs, favicon URLs, stuff like that normally would force you to dive into the code. Everything from the branding to how things are rounded, square, pilled, and everything like that. So for everything, also, I tried to add question mark tooltips with explainers in great detail. This is good because it's documentation for both the users and for the LLM. But really, all of this is too much, right? It's just too much for the average user. So this is where you want AI to be able to come in. And so this is what kind of the goal of where I want to get to. I have this prompt I made. And here, even before we've configured almost anything, all I have is my API key for the AI. The admins themselves can have an assistant here to set up the actual instance.
Hmm.
So I have this assistant, and I can ask, what do I need to configure my instance for for a demo. And it will be able to read, all of the descriptions that are written here for me as a human that I would never read. It'll be able to read all of those things and tell me about it, and hopefully give me guidance, even if I have no idea what any of this means. So that's kind of the UI and the AI side
So
coming
wait, I have
together.
maybe a dumb question, but
Yeah.
like, why even expose the UI at all, and why not just make it all a chat and just say like, do the thing?
Well, that's exactly that's where I want to get to.
Oh, okay.
That is exactly where I want to get to. And so, you start with it's defined as code, and then maybe you surface that code as configurable UI. That's step 2. And then the final step is you
Just do it.
bake that into the model.
Yeah.
So here it can tell me email configuration, is set up, but you should send a test email to verify it. Um, different things like that. And it gives us different suggestions. And here it's actually suggesting a pending change for me. I'm not even sure what this is. uh, like an update for the UI or something like that. So yeah, it tells me it applied that change, and I don't need a restart. So I just made this prompt. I was testing this earlier and it was breaking. This is kind of my dream for. So let me refresh this just so we get a fresh chat. This is my dream for what a non-technical admin would be able to do, and I just wanted to see what it would spit out. So I made this prompt. Please set up all of the styling and basic configs and user types and questions to demonstrate this for a live demo for ABDC. Have at least 2 user types, a few questions for each, and then give me document suggestions that I can or should upload. You have full control here, so go crazy and set up a full featured demo instance. So I can send this, and it will probably cause the AI to think for a long time. And I'm curious, it might succeed with some of these, it might fail. This is kind of the final thing that we're polishing. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of my dream for. Well, people say that UI or the final version of UI is going to be a chat window. And so I don't know. I'm just very interested in exploring that. So let's yeah, any bits of feedback while this is coming in, and I know it's not a very good demo.
I would like it is some questions.
Yeah.
I think it would be helpful instead of like starting with, just like an open box. Yeah, kind of like it's a little too blank, but if you would have options already, multiple type choices, it's like, hey, are you an organization, or what kind of organization? How many people you have, or I don't know what are the core information there, but like start leading them towards the conversation.
That's good. You almost like help them configure by asking them questions.
We're going back to wizards. But I think you're right. I think that's where UI is still like relevant.
Well, and I think the wizardy thing, even if it's not laid out like a wizard, like if each of these choices you're presented with like a screenshot of what it means. It's like, what does a user type mean? Well, like here's a visual example. What's a favicon? Like here's a visual example.
Yeah, because if it's just a text box, then I feel like you're kind of presented with that like
we got
overwhelm.
Yeah, so it just created a lot here. Let's just try and onboard as a user now. Let's trust the AI, and before my computer dies, I'm gonna log out and see what we're walking into here.
Who knows, sir?
And let me actually go back to the homepage here.
Which model of the UI, by the way? Was it
Say what?
Was this Opus? Like who did the UI?
Yeah, it's Cloud Opus. And we'll do some.
Oh, you're gonna dox your.
That's okay. We're just like ripping it. It's just like, yeah, like Code Rabbit. Okay, cool. So Bitcoin designer, I'm a Bitcoin developer. GitHub profile. Programming languages, check.
This whole form was generated. This whole form was generated by what the AI just.
So it started out totally generic, and so what's cool about this too? So
it's actually.
So
would you like to know?
So I can just
best tacos.
Best tacos.
Best tacos.
Best tacos.
Just best tacos. Figure it out. Don't know. No other.
Well, this is interesting too, because the LLM would have given it like a system prompt. It would have given it things like that too. So it might be like, whatever taco you can buy with Bitcoin, that's the taco I want.
Yeah, you could almost, even if you were gonna have the AI do the setup, have it follow a wizard. So there's almost like a CLI, and it just calls next each time or something like that. So it just like, it knows where it's at, and it understands the most about the decisions it's making.
Yeah. This is taking a while.
Also, like, give it some sense of progression, how long it's gonna take. Stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's taking a bit to answer best tacos. It made the whole form.
Yeah, so this is part of like in the user configuration, you can choose what fields get encrypted in the database and what fields get unencrypted and passed to the chat. So I can like encrypt your email, but I can keep your location decrypted. So when you talk to the chat, you'll know, it'll have that kind of context.
Like having a chat window for helping with all the setting and onboarding, I think it's very helpful.
I think one interesting note I had was just like how much better the floor for UIs are now. Like if you just literally if it was just Opus, I don't know if you just like one shot of this, but a lot of the details from Shadcn are just like so nice that.
I used Opus, and a lot of for UI library, it's Lucide. loose-side React. Yeah. So a lot of this is like was trying to make it generic and configurable. So a lot of the things that I might have done to make it look better, it's like let's hold off and make it generic and configurable. So I'll show you here too. This is like the database explorer, so we can as an admin come in here and look at like all of the users that we've onboarded, for example, and they're actually getting decrypted in real time with our Nostr key. So that's, kind of a cool thing here for the admin. But then at the same time, the admin and the user always just has the chat here where they can pull in the database into context or a web search tool or something like that. And the idea is that even though the AI is here to help the user, it's like we have this AI integration. It can help us run the instance and configure the instance itself. And I hope that that's where a lot of like apps, I don't know, go along the ways that they can be configurable, but done easily with AI.
System prompt you come up with.
Let's see. Let's go to AI configuration.
I liked the little blur when the modal came out. It was,
Tone and personality, behavior rules, response styles. Some of these are, yeah, I didn't change all of these. Creative level 0.1.
uh, yeah, I mean that's it. We're tight, short and sweet. February edition of Design Club. So thanks for coming out. Thanks Austin for co-hosting and doing the crit. And see you next month.